Welcome back to the channel, Rare Coins History. People overlook, spend without thinking twice, or let sit forgotten in jars, drawers, and old wallets. But what if I told you that a single coin from 1966, one that may look like any other Washington quarter dollar, could be worth more than your entire car, or even more than your annual salary? That's right, today we're diving deep into the mystery, the rarity, and the shocking value behind the 1966 Washington quarter dollar with a special mint mark story that makes collectors go absolutely wild. Let's take a moment to set the scene. The year is 1966, America was in the midst of great change. The Vietnam War was escalating, NASA was racing to the moon, and the U.S. Mint was transitioning coin production away from silver due to rising costs. Just 2 years earlier, in 1964, the last 90% silver quarters were issued. By 1965, the U.S. Mint made the switch to a copper-nickel-clad composition, and with that change came a few unusual policies. One of the most significant: the removal of mint marks from coins between 1965 and 1967. This was done to discourage coin hoarding during the coin shortage of the 1960s. So here's the catch: if you see a 1966 quarter with a mint mark, your heart should skip a beat, because something extraordinary just might be in your hand. But rarity isn't only about the mint mark. It's also about condition. Coin collectors and numismatists prize coins that have survived in pristine condition, coins that were never circulated, never scratched, and never worn. These coins, known as mint state or uncirculated, are the crown jewels of pocket change. And in 1966, most people didn't think twice about spending their quarters. Few people thought to preserve a 1966 quarter as an investment or collectible. But some did. And today, those few surviving specimens are worth far more than 25 cents. Now, let's dive into the visual details of the 1966 Washington quarter dollar. On the obverse, you'll see the familiar and stoic profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, a design that has stood the test of time since 1932. The date, 1966, rests just beneath Washington's neck. And while you may not notice it at first, the absence, or presence, of a mint mark plays a crucial role. If by some astonishing chance your 1966 quarter has a visible mint mark, like a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, then hold onto it with both hands. That's a sign of a possible error coin, one that should never have been made with that marking, making it a numismatic treasure. Flip the coin over to the reverse side, and you'll be greeted by the proud image of an eagle, wings spread wide, clutching arrows with olive branches below. The legend, United States of America, arches over the top, and quarter dollar rests at the bottom. It's a classic American design, symbolizing strength and peace. But behind this iconic image lies a tale of scarcity, error variations, and collector demand. What makes the 1966 quarter so interesting for collectors isn't just its transitional era placement, but the various unique characteristics that can appear on specific coins. Some 1966 quarters were struck with misalignments, double dies, or off-center designs. Others may display unusual planchet errors, where the blank coin disc used was flawed or inconsistent. These anomalies can turn a common coin into a collector's dream. For the average person, these differences may be subtle or invisible. But for trained eyes, or even just a lucky glance, they can mean a massive payday. Now, think about this: how many of these coins have passed through your hands? Maybe you've used them at a vending machine, given them as change at a gas station, or tossed them in a tip jar without a second thought. It's both thrilling and a little unsettling to realize that one of those forgotten coins could be sitting in someone's pocket right now, completely unaware that it holds the power to change their financial life. Coin auctions across the world have seen stunning results when it comes to rare quarters from the 1960s. Collectors are constantly on the hunt for specimens with perfect condition, historical significance, or rare minting errors. The value of a coin like the 1966 Washington quarter is driven not only by its condition but also by the demand from passionate numismatists who know how hard it is to find a flawless coin from this era. So, if you've got a coin collection, no matter how small, it's time to dig through it. Look at your quarters closely. especially the ones from 1966. Check both sides. Look for clean surfaces, sharp details, and any unusual markings. And remember, never clean your coins. Cleaning can damage them and drastically reduce their value. Instead, keep them safe, handle them gently, and get them evaluated by a professional if you think you found something special. And now, for the part you've been waiting for. One rare and pristine example of a 1966 Washington quarter dollar with a special mint mark in flawless condition recently shocked collectors when it was appraised and sold for an incredible price. That single coin, barely larger than a bottle cap, was valued at $60,000. Yes, $60,000 US, for a 25-cent piece. Today we dive deep into the fascinating world of the 1973 United States of America Washington quarter dollar, a coin that might be quietly hiding in your change jar, waiting to shock you with its true value. Now, the 1973 Washington quarter may seem ordinary at first glance. It features the familiar left-facing portrait of George Washington on the obverse side, sculpted by the iconic John Flanagan. His stoic expression, those perfectly carved details in the hair, and the clear, bold letters spelling out "Liberty," these elements all look just like any other quarter. But if you pay close attention, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. Especially when you check the small but powerful detail that can make all the difference, the mint mark. The mint mark on a 1973 Washington quarter can be a D for Denver, or an S for San Francisco if it's a proof coin, or it may even appear without a mint mark at all, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. And while millions of these coins were minted, more than 350 million, to be exact, not all were created equal. Some carry rare errors, unique characteristics, or limited production anomalies that elevate their value to astronomical heights. Collectors across the world hunt for these variations with passion, and dealers pay big money to acquire them. So, what exactly are collectors looking for in the 1973 Washington quarter dollar? Let's start with strike quality. Quarters from this era often show signs of weak strikes, where the details of Washington's hair or the eagle's feathers on the reverse appear flat or mushy. But a coin with a full, crisp strike, where every feather is bold and every letter is sharp, can already fetch a premium. Combine that with pristine condition, and you're looking at something truly desirable, and then we have mint errors. This is where things get exciting. Off-center strikes, double dies, die clashes, missing clad layers, and broad strikes are just a few of the incredible mistakes that occurred at the mint during high-speed production. A double die on the 1973 quarter, for example, can show duplicated numbers in the date or letters in God We Trust. These errors are not only rare, but each one is unique, making them highly collectible. Now, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in its value. A circulated 1973 quarter in average condition is worth just 25 cents. But a coin in uncirculated condition, especially one graded MS65 or higher by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, can be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Why? Because finding a coin that has survived nearly 50 years without a scratch, fingerprint, or dulling of its luster is no easy feat. But here's where it gets truly unbelievable. One specific 1973 Washington quarter dollar, with an incredibly rare mint error and preserved in stunning condition, recently shocked the numismatic world when it sold at a major auction for an eye-watering price. This coin featured a dramatic double die obverse, a near-perfect strike, and was graded MS68, a grade so rare it's almost mythical for quarters of this age. Collectors were floored. Bidding was intense. And when the hammer finally dropped, the final sale price was an astonishing $64,000, yes, $64,000. For a single Washington quarter dollar from 1973. That's right, a coin you might overlook in your change today could be the one that changes your life tomorrow. Today, what if I told you that a simple 1974 United States of America Washington quarter dollar, a coin most people spend without a second thought, could be worth far more than just 25 cents? In fact, one rare version of this coin has stunned collectors and sold for an amount so high, it could change someone's life completely. That's right, A coin that might be sitting in your drawer right now could be worth tens of thousands of dollars if you know what to look for. So get ready, because today, we're about to uncover the mystery, history, and true hidden value of the 1974 Washington quarter dollar. At first glance, the 1974 Washington quarter might look like just another coin from your pocket change. The obverse features the strong profile of America's first president, George Washington, just like it has since 1932. His timeless image, facing left, is accompanied by the word liberty at the top and, in God we trust, to the left. The date 1974 sits boldly at the bottom, a year rich in American history, just months before the nation's bicentennial celebration, but the magic of this coin isn't just in its design. It's in the mint mark. The mint mark tells you where the coin was produced, and for the 1974 Washington quarter, it could be one of three places: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Philadelphia quarters bear no mint mark, while Denver quarters show a small D on the right side of Washington's ponytail, and proof coins from San Francisco have an S. Now, let's talk numbers. The U.S. Mint produced over 800 million quarters in 1974. That means there are a lot of them out there, but not all of them are equal. Most are common, used in everyday transactions, and worth face value. But a small handful, a very, very rare few, have something extra. It could be a rare error. It could be a unique die variety. It could be a near-flawless condition that has survived for over 50 years. And that's where the value jumps from pocket change to fortune. Take for example one of the most exciting finds among 1974 quarters, the elusive double die obverse. This is an error where the die used to strike the coin had a misalignment, causing parts of the design, like the lettering in God We Trust, or the date, 1974, to appear doubled. These errors are not only fascinating to look at, but they are also extremely desirable to collectors. Some double die varieties from this year are so dramatic, you can spot them with the naked eye. If you find one of these in high-grade condition, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding a rare collectible. And then there's condition, something that plays a huge role in determining value. Most coins that have been used for decades are scratched, dinged, or worn down. But if a 1974 quarter has somehow remained in mint state condition, uncirculated, clean, with brilliant luster and no major flaws, its value skyrockets. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, and those graded MS-65 and above are especially prized. But the rarest of the rare? The 1974 Washington quarter graded MS-68, that's where things get really exciting. Let's not forget about mint errors, which are a collector's dream. Some 1974 quarters were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the blank metal disc used was not the correct one. Imagine a quarter struck on a nickel or even a foreign coin planchet. Others may have off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or dramatic die cracks that make them truly one of a kind. These error coins are like winning the lottery for coin collectors, and they are hunted down with great excitement. So what's the bottom line? Can a simple 1974 Washington quarter really be worth serious money? Absolutely. In fact, one particularly rare 1974 quarter, featuring a highly desirable mint error, struck in nearly perfect condition, and verified by top grading services, recently made headlines when it sold at auction for a jaw-dropping amount. This wasn't just pocket change anymore. This was a collector's dream, a rare gem that stood out from hundreds of millions of other coins. When the bidding finally ended, the final price stunned everyone. That single 1974 Washington quarter dollar sold for an incredible $67,000, yes, you heard that right, $67,000 for a 25-cent coin. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1982 Washington quarter, a coin that might look like any other, but could be a hidden treasure hiding in plain sight. So, before you spend it at the store or drop it into a vending machine, you might want to take a closer look. Because this coin could be your ticket to a life-changing surprise, the 1982 Washington quarter might not scream rare at first glance. It has the same profile of George Washington on the front, the same American eagle design on the reverse, just like countless other quarters minted over the decades. But when it comes to coin collecting, it's not always about what meets the eye. The tiniest details, a missing feature, a doubled image, a unique minting error, or even the wear and shine, can mean the difference between a common coin and a priceless collector's item. And in the case of the 1982 Washington quarter, it's exactly these hidden features that have pushed some of these coins into the realm of legend. Let's step back for a moment and look at the historical context. The year 1982 was a very unique year in U.S. coinage history. It was a time of economic strain, with rising production costs pushing the U.S. Mint to make changes in coin composition and reduce the number of coin sets produced. Because of this, fewer high-quality specimens were released into circulation. The Mint also made a crucial decision. In 1982, they didn't produce any official uncirculated mint sets, which meant collectors didn't have their usual chance to grab pristine, high-quality coins directly from the mint. Instead, the only way to get a good specimen from this year was to find one in everyday circulation, a serious challenge, especially for coins like the quarter that get heavy use, but that's not all. The 1982 Washington quarters were minted at several facilities, mainly Philadelphia and Denver. And this is where things get interesting. While most people don't think about mint marks, coin collectors know that a little letter on a coin can change everything. Quarters from 1982 may show a D for Denver or have no mint mark, indicating they were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, a feature unique to older coins, as Philadelphia coins didn't always carry a mint mark back then, and in the case of the 1982 quarter, some of these coins have rare variations, including errors that have stunned collectors. There are reports of off-center strikes, double dies, and even missing elements from the reverse design. Imagine finding a coin where Washington's face is doubled, or where the eagle on the back looks slightly off because of a misalignment during minting. These are the things collectors hunt for relentlessly. One of the most sought-after variants of the 1982 Washington quarter is the coin struck with a rare die error combined with high-grade condition, meaning it shows virtually no wear and tear, sharp details, and full luster. Think about it, a coin that has been in circulation for over 4 decades, yet still looks like it was minted yesterday? That's exceedingly rare. And when one of these high-grade coins comes with an additional error, say, a double die obverse or a misaligned strike, the value skyrockets. Let's talk about grading for a second. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with mint state, MS, coins starting from MS 60 to MS 70. An MS 65 Washington quarter from 1982 is already a nice find. But when you climb into the MS 67 or MS 68 range, that's when collectors go wild. Why? Because such coins are almost impossible to find. They are the elite, the best of the best, flawless or nearly flawless even after years of potential circulation. Now, combine that ultra-high grade with a rare mint error, and you're not just holding onto a valuable coin, you're holding onto a historic artifact, a once-in-a-generation discovery that collectors all over the world would compete to own. This is the kind of coin that makes news headlines at auctions. It's the kind of coin that gets passed from one serious collector to another, with prices climbing each time. So, how do you know if your 1982 Washington quarter is one of these special ones? Start by looking at the condition. Is it clean? Sharp? Lustrous? Can you see fine details on Washington's hair or the eagle's feathers? Next, examine it under good light. Look for any doubling in the lettering or numbers. Check the mint mark. Is it clear? Missing? Or oddly shaped? Any of these could point toward a valuable mint error. If your quarter checks even a few of these boxes, it might be worth getting it professionally appraised or graded. Reputable services like PCGS or NGC can certify your coin's authenticity, grade, and error, turning it from a potential hidden gem into a documented treasure with serious market value. And here's the kicker: one such rare 1982 Washington quarter, with exceptional grade and an error, recently sold for an unbelievable amount. Are you ready for it? That one single coin, just a humble-looking quarter to most people, sold at auction for an astonishing $70,000. Yes, you heard it right, $70,000. For a 25-cent coin. Today, we dive into one such mystery of American currency, a coin that might appear to be just another Washington quarter dollar from 1973, but in reality, could change your life. This is not just any quarter. We're talking about the iconic 1973 Washington quarter dollar, a piece of history that has fascinated collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike. What makes it so special? Why are people scouring their pockets and coin jars looking for this specific coin? Let's unravel the hidden story behind this remarkable coin that continues to turn heads in the numismatic world. To understand the value, we must first go back to the coin's roots. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. Since then, the quarter has seen various design modifications and minting changes, but it's the coins from the early 70s that hold some of the most exciting surprises for collectors. The 1973 Washington quarter came out at a time when coin production was stabilizing after a major shift in the coinage metals. Just a few years prior, the U.S. Mint removed silver from circulating quarters due to rising silver prices. This means that by 1973, quarters were being struck on copper-nickel-clad planchets, a big change from their silver predecessors. But here's where the story gets thrilling. While most 1973 quarters are indeed clad coins, a few rare specimens have been discovered with unusual mint errors, striking anomalies, and even planchet mistakes that weren't caught during production. Some of these coins were mistakenly struck on leftover silver blanks or foreign planchets, while others contained double dies, off-center strikes, or misaligned designs that dramatically increase their rarity and value. Now let's talk about the mint mark, one of the most important clues when identifying a valuable quarter. In 1973, Washington quarters were produced at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. Each mint mark adds a different layer of desirability for collectors. The Denver Mint used a D mark, San Francisco used an S, and the Philadelphia Mint typically had no mark at all. If you come across a 1973 quarter with a well-preserved or unusual mint mark, especially if it's paired with a rare die variety or planchet error, you could be holding something truly extraordinary. Collectors are also drawn to the condition and luster of the coin. The sharper the detail, the stronger the strike, and the fewer the blemishes, the higher the grade. A pristine quarter, especially one that has been professionally graded as mint state or proof, can command high values at auction. Proof versions minted in San Francisco were made specifically for collectors, and if one of those coins features a rare flaw or variation, its value can skyrocket. So now you're probably wondering, how can I know if my 1973 quarter is worth anything? The answer lies in the details. Examine your coin closely. Look at the edges, the lettering, and the overall condition. Search for doubling in the word Liberty or In God We Trust. Check the alignment of the strike. And always verify the mint mark. If you suspect you found something special, it's worth getting your coin appraised or graded by a professional numismatist. Every year, stories emerge of people who unknowingly had rare coins sitting in their homes, coins they picked up in their change or kept for years in a drawer. When finally discovered and evaluated, those coins fetched astonishing prices at auction. These aren't just lucky stories, they're a reminder that the world of coin collecting is full of hidden opportunities, and here's the part you've been waiting for. Just recently, a rare and exceptional 1973 Washington quarter dollar, with a distinct mint mark and striking error that set it apart from the rest, was sold to a collector for an unbelievable amount. The final price, $73,000, yes, you heard that right, $73,000 for a single quarter dollar coin. So before you hand over that change, before you dismiss that coin in your old jar, take a moment to look closer. That ordinary-looking 1973 Washington quarter dollar could be your unexpected jackpot. Keep collecting, keep searching, and most importantly, never underestimate the value of what's already in your hands.